eliminating stupidity out of this game. You get a good pick here. We got a nice res off. What's the shitty part about coming out of this angle?
Everything. I hate Hookah.
All of it. I'm going to tell you something that's blasphemous that will help you out in this particular situation. And I say blasphemous because most people, if I told them to do this on TikTok, they'd be like, that's a dumb smoke. Where do you think I'm going with this?
Probably smoke like in front of Hookah. So
You got it. So they can jump into it and then they can take better fights. The chances of them being right here are incredibly low. There's always a chance they can sit here like a bozo. But if that's the case, you just golf clap, move on to the next round. You've got 4 people going through Hookah, which by the way is a recipe for disaster, especially in this. All these angles here are all optimal for killing people coming in the spot. You even have this one here and even garden because there's just not enough attention from over here. So give your team a ghost of a chance and get this smoke down so they can jump into it. Now here's the thing. People in TikTok comments will say, well, if I throw that smoke, then my team are going to be like, wow, why? All you got to do is say, I'm smoking the front of it, jump into it, and swing out.
Yeah.
And if you say, I'm throwing this smoke so you can get out of Hookah, they're going to understand it and be able to work through it. If you just throw this smoke down without saying anything, this is why I'm saying you need to have that gumption and that confidence behind it, they're going to flame. If at the end of the round they said, I don't want you throwing that smoke, great, don't throw that smoke. I would rather you go towards B-long anyway. Are you sick and tired of being stuck in the same rank? Check out Premium Coaching for a new perspective on how to rank up. Premium Coaching includes 4 VOD reviews, 4 mental toughness sessions, a personal training program customized to you, and one-on-one nutrition consultations. Join today. It's your time for a change. So the first thing you do is you say, can you watch this for me as I'm planting?
I just watch my plant.
Okay, and you pinged here, which is great. Okay. The reason why I say the buy is the big key here is because if you are pinging this smoke, this one's still a threat. How can we eliminate that threat? Molly. Why the stimmy?
Just to get us out.
Let's watch how you use the stimmy here.
I used it a little too late.
Yeah. The point where you would need to use the stimmy, if you're going to use it, is right here. That way everyone else gets it. Don't throw it for yourself, throw it for them, always. Yeah. I know that you know this. So that's where you would have to use it if you want to get maximum value out of it. The stimmy itself, I found, is great on defense because you can rotate fast. Like, that's a really good use for it, right? Everything else is like, how much real value are we getting on this explosion here? It's like, maybe a bit, but the molly, if not used on plant, can also be used as a lineup.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a fan of lineups fully, but it's just another layer. So the first thing we're going to go back to V-Staff because I think it's important to look at this stuff, right? We look at bind and we look at plant number 2. As soon as you plant, you have like a 70% chance of winning. So 7 out of 10 you'll win, 3 out of 10 you'll lose. I think it's important for that. This solidifies the point that if you have 2 smokes the way that you set them up, you should have it set in a way that the molly goes off here. This smoke could also be moved back here. The other thing that causes problems, the reason why you might have thrown the smoke, is because no one showers. Which could have been you, if you wanted to go that way, as long as you just drop the bomb for your team. What else could you have asked for here? Sage wall.
You saying a wall? Sage didn't even buy wall.
Yeah, so that would be a pre-round thing if you're going to go there. This death is fine because you fulfilled your purpose with the smokes on the site, and then you got traded right away. So don't be too discouraged by that. That being said, I think the molly is the better buy on pistol. This is coming from like 1,000 hours of Brimstone as well. This was in beta when Brimstone was the GOAT, and you can reach across the map with Brimstone smokes, so it's a little bit different, but usually the stimmy is not the greatest option. The other smokes are fine, by the way. Totally okay.
Now.
We just need to give them an equal fight, because all these fights are awkward for them jumping out, right? Yeah. All of them are awkward. Like, look at the Sage. Sage is like, I'm gonna look over here, I'm gonna look over here, I'm gonna look over here. Oh, there's someone right in front of me, right? They're worried about 360 degrees, pretty much, of fuck me, right? When they're coming out. Give them a second to, like, land on the ground, and then they can swing things properly, okay? It's not a great idea to throw smokes here and here right now because you got an opening pick. So they'll use that to hide into. And it's most likely they're going to be behind this point. So by doing that, you give them a staging smoke to move into. So it's better to throw it here because the chances of them sitting here in a 4v5 for them are incredibly low. So this is going to be the better option. Okay? The best option is to not put 4 on Hookah and go towards long if you're taking B. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
You just gotta remember that in this rank, you gotta deal with stupidity from both your teammates and from the enemy. It's about mitigating the stupidity wherever possible. So in this case here, the stupidity is from your team, putting 4 through here, right? So you have to modify your conditions of default smokes to be able to cater to the stupidity. Okay. In this round, I think we end up having Clove is a really, really good teacher to us. Okay. Clove is an excellent teacher. That's the way we got to approach this, because Clove will do random things to expose why your decisions are bad. Okay. For example, you pull your smoke out and you expose yourself to a random swing out.
Yeah.
Okay? All you had to do was be behind this wall and then throw your smokes. It doesn't really change that much. You can still reach all the smokes that you want.
Yeah.
But luckily, we have a great teacher in Clove showing us the error of our ways. And we're not ready for this fight. We have a great trade-off, and you might have been hoping that Sky would watch that, but that didn't come from your comms either.
Yeah.
Remember, you have to handhold these people a little bit,
Yeah.
okay? Even in an Immortal lobby, you'll probably still see failure like this, right? Especially if you're not talking about what you're doing. So it's important for you to step up and do that. We eliminate stupidity by not putting ourselves in the line of fire, just like we did with the first round when we bought a certain way. No different than when we're jumping out 3 people in a hookah into a valley of the shadow of death, into a melting pot of gunshots. No different than exposing yourself with your smoke out,
Nice job.
facing a threat or a potential threat. If there is any threat possible, you can bet you will run into a person named Definitely Sober at some point in your rank journey who will expose you on these mistakes.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to continue getting punished by it, or do you want to put up a safeguard that's going to prevent this from happening? Choice is yours. It's good playing against players like this because they show you the error of your ways. You may think you're safe, you're never safe. Make sure you're 100%. When you get into higher ranks, you won't see a random Clove swinging you from there. Okay, they'll play more conventionally, but you have to go and earn that. And even so, if they're down numbers, you may see it, right? Because they follow a certain set of rules. Okay, so based on what we've seen so far, okay, think about it from here because you can be more analytical. You see a Clove smoke like this, and you've seen how Clove's playing. What do you think Clove's going to do here?
She might be sitting in smoke.
Yeah, they might be in smoke, okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen here. I don't think it's what happens. But based on the 8-3, based on what I've seen from Clove, we need to kind of have this in our mind as a prepared, right?